All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joshua Boatman, and I'm the Regional Technology Director for the Ohio Valley region. Thank you for jumping on this call with me. Today, we're going to kind of just spend some time diving into the Command mobile app. So, for those of you who do not know, at the tail end of last year, in December, Command released, or Keller Williams released Command Mobile, which is the best and easiest way for you to access your database, track your activity, email, text your clients while you're on the go. For those of you who've been with Keller for a long time, you might have the Kelly app, which is like the little blue KW. You can feel free to delete that. Don't use that. We are going to use Command Mobile. With all my classes, I always ask that if you have any questions, just wait until the Zoom's over, and then I'm back home, and then email Jen Vickers. That's typically how I like to do things, but feel free to unmute yourself, shout them out, raise your hand. We'll try to monitor the chat as best we can. Jen's in the chat, so she can kind of help me do that a little bit if you don't mind. Jen, is that okay?
So I wanted to be able to post that video that I did.
And then I'm getting interrupted because people are just walking into my class, just acting like no. So without further ado, we'll go ahead. We'll get started. So just kind of give you to set some expectations. I'm going to be sharing Command Mobile from my computer using an Android emulator. So it's just the easiest way for me to share it via Zoom, so everyone can see what I'm doing. So I just always want to just set some expectations with that. Because I'm doing it not on an actual mobile device, it's going to look a little bit weirder, but just it should function similar to what you're seeing.
Hey Josh, so, I have logged into Zoom on my phone and shared my screen before, so that's an option.
I appreciate that. I get text messages, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the text that I get popping up. I've had some incidences, so
just saying that's. I guess I have no life.
My friends are. There's a unfortunate text chain that's going around right now that they're all trying to post pretty mean things about a buddy of mine. So because it's his birthday this week, so it's a lot of awkward pictures. But hopefully everyone can kind of see what you're seeing on my screen. You can kind of see the answer. Yes, no, maybe so. Perfect. So this is the home screen of Command Mobile. If you're looking to access it, you should be able to access it or download it from the Apple Store, from your iPhone, or the Google Play Store from your Android. So the thing when we talk about Command Mobile, it's not exactly the most robust app. And it's not a pared down version of Command. Sometimes there's some things that it's just a basic version of Command. That's not what we've done. What we've done is we've released an app that has the essential features that you need to work on the go. This is version 1, and at the end of the class, I'll kind of share a little bit of information about the next update that I'm beta testing right now. That'll be exclusive to you guys to find out. I'm not supposed to tell anybody, so don't tell anybody. So on the main home screen, what we're going to see is the contact task. So all this basically does across the top is this shares, it gives us just a quick insight on how many tasks we have due today that are due soon or even past due. So due today tasks are specific tasks that are due today. They are scheduled for today's date to be completed. Due soon are going to be tasks that fall within a 7-day window. So from today until 7 days from now. Past due are, of course, going to be those tasks that we missed today, that we didn't complete next week. Those are all going to be accumulated there. Past due will go back, I believe, 30 days of past due tasks before they officially drop off. So it's super easy. If you want to locate a task that you're due today, right? So you're on the go, you're an agent, you need to see what you're doing. Just tap on due today, and you're going to see a list of all your tasks. Now, what's really unique about Command Mobile, from this screen especially, you're going to be able to see that this is a call task where I got to call Abigail. And if I want to call her, all I have to do is tap on the call button. It'll give me a list of all the phone numbers that I have associated with her contact card. In this case, I just have one. I'm going to click one, and then it's going to say, hey, do you want me to call that? And then once I complete the call, right, I've talked to Abigail, maybe I left a voicemail, whatever it is, it's going to say, hey, do you want to add this activity to Abigail's timeline, right? One of the most purposeful things you can start to do with your database, and the biggest idea behind even having a database in general, is you can track your activity in your touch points. One of the stories I always like to tell, and if you've been selling real estate for any length of time, this has happened to you. You've walked into an office, and when you've walked into your office, coming out of your closing room is a past client. You're like, John, what are you doing here? He's like, oh man, I just bought a new house. I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean you bought a new house? I helped you buy Sesame Street 30 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was. He's like, oh yeah, I didn't know you were still in the business. I didn't want to bother you. You seem busy, but I really love the calendar you send every year. It's really great. My wife loves the calendar with the rest, whatever. And then they go on. And the reality of it is, if your client didn't call you, they were never your client in the first place, right? That's one of the hard truths of real estate. One of the things about real estate agents in general, you guys are phenomenal about the current deal, right? You're phenomenal about the guy that says they're going to buy in 6 months. But that person that bought 5 years ago, staying in relationship with them, to be honest, you guys suck at it. And I say that with all the love and grace and truth, because that is what the numbers have shown out, right? NAR, every year they do these statistics, but they basically don't change much, right? It basically says, hey, you just bought a house. How likely are you to use that same agent to buy your next house? And the numbers are through the roof. It's like, oh, we would use our agent 78%. We guarantee 78% of them said we'd use this same agent. When polled later and asked, how many did you use your previous agent when you bought this house? Only 16% of them said they did. And that's not because they loved you at closing. It's not that they didn't like you. It's because you lost contact. So part of what a platform can do, a CRM in this case, it's designed to help you stay in touch and know when you talk to someone. Whenever you see that past client walking out of that office, you should be able to go to your CRM and say, oh man, the last time I talked to him was 2.5 years ago, right? So when we to bring it back to Command Mobile, you place that phone call through Command Mobile, you hang up, it's gonna ask you, hey, would you like to add this call to her timeline to update Command and say you made a contact? Sure. It's already, since this was a call task, it's already gonna have calls selected for us. It's already gonna have the today's date selected for us, right? It's super easy. And then you just have to put the outcome of the call. Did they not answer? Did they leave a voicemail? Did we talk? Typically, if it's me calling a woman, they don't answer. Not funny, maybe, sort of. Is there any chuckles out there in Zoom land? I'm just gonna assume you laughed, and then I'll just keep telling jokes. But we can just say, you know what, she did not answer. We'll follow up. Right? Just that simple. We're gonna hit save in the upper right-hand corner, and now it's gonna prompt us if we want to mark this task complete. We can complete that task. Super simple. Just within a matter of seconds, we placed the phone call, we've updated Command, and now we have completed that task. We know that we've made a purposeful touch to Abigail. Now, one of the neat things from this screen is we have this filter called Call Task Only. So what's really neat about this is you could be using Command for multiple types of tasks. Maybe it's tasks you need to complete within an opportunity. Maybe it's tasked to send an email. Maybe it's tasked to generate a CMA and send it. Maybe you got to stop by a house and drop off a lockbox. Whatever you're using, your task list can be pretty deep. The filter Call Task Only will only show you call-based tasks, which typically are probably the most important tasks you need to complete each day. If there's a list of tasks you need to do before your head hits your pillow at night, you should make sure you place all the needed phone calls that you need to make that day. And keep it in mind, these phone calls are going to be generated if you're using the quarterly call plan in Command. If you're using the birthday smart plan in Command, the home anniversary within Command, right? Those are generally going to be your number one source of call task outside of, say, your admin or your care bear or another agent might have assigned and created a task for you that's a call task. Hopefully that makes sense.
Joshua, can I ask a question real quick?
You sure can, Caroline.
So from here, since you've completed that task, is there, if you want to make sure that you're calling them once a month or once a quarter or whatever, can you create just right when you're in here a new task for her?
So you absolutely could. So we could absolutely create a task. We could enter in the name of the task, and down here we can associate the contact, right? So we can sit there and let's task name, call, we could schedule, a day in the future, let's just say the 31st, just for simplicity. We're gonna add, we could add, Abigail, which is like this one, and then save it. And now this task, and mark it as a call task, and now we've created one for the future. Now, what's really slick though, and what you would probably want to look into, because if nothing else, think of, you maybe not need to reach out to them every month. Although if you wanted to, there's a specific smart plan we could set up that would do that for you and just create that task every 30 days. We do have what we call the quarterly call plan, smart plan, which basically is, excuse me, it'll create that task every 90 days for you. So you add your database to it, excuse me, if you add your database to it, you'll be reminded to reach out to your database at least 4 times a year via phone call. And in all honesty, if you did nothing else with Command Mobile other than call your database 4 times a year, you would generate pretty much all your profit, right? All the money you make. I mean, one of the stats that has never changed, the NAR's release, and I've been in real estate for about 16 years now. The one stat that's never changed is 70% of your GCI comes from your sphere and your past clients. In the world, we want to chase Zillow, we want to chase Trulia, we want to chase Facebook leads, whatever that is. 70% of every real estate business comes from the people that know them, love them, and they've done past deals with. And then that's just even placing those phone calls. I mean, the MREA will say it as well. It's like that's if you do nothing else, if you do that, you will generate business from your sphere. So hopefully that helps. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the task screen when we, we'll show a couple other things in there, but I'm going to jump back to the home screen by clicking the home button in the lower left-hand corner. So you can see we completed that task. It was due today. If I click on due soon, it's going to show me the tasks that are due within the next 7 days. And here I can see I have to call Abigail again. I can easily click here and call her. Or I can click the 3 little dots to the right. I can edit the task. I can even reschedule it. So let's just say I don't have time to call Abigail today, or maybe there's a task that I want to take care of later, I just don't want to do it today. I can reschedule it, and I can pick a date in the future, and then easily save it. And now I've easily moved that task to a future date. Super simple, super easy. So as we kind of work our way down the home screen, one of the other really neat sections we have here is called Who to Contact. So this is just a quick, easy way, based upon the information you have in your database, based upon the activity that you have logged with your clients, right? This is with the understanding that you're logging your contacts with your clients into Command. You can click Leads Never Contacted. These are going to be leads that have come in that I've never logged any contact. Oprah Winfrey's #1 on my list. I need to reach out to her. I hear she's a big deal. I don't need to know Oprah Winfrey. I know Dana Gentry. And in my mind, you just only need to know one. It's extremely powerful. But super simple, right? From Oprah's contact, if she has a phone number, we can click the little phone icon. We can place a call directly to Oprah. If I click the little text message bubble to the right, I can send Oprah a text, and it's going to use my native phone texting app. So if I'm on an iPhone, it's going to pop up messages. If you're on an Android, I don't know why, just get an iPhone and your life will be easier, but it's going to pop up whatever an Android uses. iPhones rule, Androids rule.
Joshua, does it allow you to choose, like, let's say you have a husband and a wife and you want to just text them both on the same text? Can you choose more than one contact?
No. So you cannot do bulk contact sending from the Command app.
Actually, you can, if you, not in here, but on your computer, you can, under contacts.
Yep. So Jen's right, through Command Desktop, you can do bulk texting, but we just don't have that feature here within Command Mobile.
Okay, thank you.
But keep in mind, chances are you probably have their contact information in your phone as well. So once it opens up that text activity, you can then add someone else to the top. You know, when you're creating a message, you can tap at the top and then send that message to multiple people. Just like if you're adding multiple people to a text chain, it will not log that activity to both contacts, but at least you can just send that message to both. Great question. And then of course to the right, the envelope, the email envelope, that will send an email using your phone's Native app. So the three things to remember from this when you see this: the phone call uses your phone number to place a phone call. The text message bubble uses your phone's text message to place the text. The email button uses your phone's email, right? So when you use the email option, it's actually going to be coming from your email address, not like the standard no reply email address that we send out via smart plans and or one-off emails and campaigns. So just kind of to set that expectation. The sent item will actually show up in your sent item. It'll use your signature, all that good stuff. Super, super cool, super, super easy. Next, who to contact is recently active. And I think this is such a slick thing, and this is actually something that's going to be coming to the desktop version of Command. This is going to show me over the last 72 hours who in my database is either using the Keller Williams consumer app where they've selected me as the agent, or they've logged into my agent website. So I can see if I click on this, I can see myself. I was logged into the Keller Williams app 39 minutes ago. I have myself set up for searches for investment properties, so something popped up, so I logged into my app. But you can see when people were last active in your various devices. So what's neat about this is if you're checking this every day, when you see a number and you see a past client, and all of a sudden you see that they're active in the consumer platform, you can click on it, you can dive deep into their contact, right? We can go into their timeline, and we can kind of see, oh, look, Josh viewed this listing, right? Oh, he viewed these neighborhoods, right? Because we track what they're doing once they're on our consumer platform. Then you can either keep an eye on it, or maybe a week or two later, or a day or two later, or even right then, you can call Josh and say, hey, Josh, I noticed you're logged in and you looked at 1719 North Street, right? Are you interested in that property? I probably wouldn't do that. That's a little creepifying for me. I like to watch people. I don't want them to know that I'm watching them. That's funny-ish. Unless you had a stalker experience, then I apologize.
I think they
for
called it a
sensitivity.
here.
But super simple, super easy. At the touch of a button right there on your home screen, you can kind of just see who is active within your app. The app is and for those of you who have not shared your app link, that is a great opportunity to talk with Jen Vickers, who's on the call with us. She can help you set up smart plans to share your app link. She can help you send emails to share your app link. Getting your clients to use your Keller Williams app and selecting you as the agent is such a cool and simple and easy process. And everyone loves apps, and our app allows them to search any property within the continental United States. And we're tied into every single MLS, and all their activity can be logged. And if they request any information on any property, whether it's yours or someone else's, you get that lead and that notification. So as we go further down, we have our things to know. So birthdays, anniversaries. What's really neat about this is just going to give us an insight. It's going to say, hey, over the next 30 days, you have 2 clients that have a birthday. Over the next 30 days, you have 2 clients that have a home anniversary. Now, this is not saying 2 on 1/16, right? I'm actually lying. But this is saying, like, it's just going to give you the next date of the birthday, right? So you have an understanding that the next birthday is on January 16th. The next home anniversary is on the 20th. Even though I have 2, it's just going to show me the recent. So if we click on it, we're going to see Abby, her home anniversary is on 1/20, and the other Abby is on 1/30, right? Just to kind of give you some insights, right? If you're using our home anniversary smart plan, if you're using our birthday smart plan, it's going to create tasks for you to follow up with them 7 days before their anniversary, before their birthday. But you can kind of just keep that in mind that you have a couple clients whose birthdays are popping up. And you can look at it, and maybe it's a client that you really, really liked, and you may want to just maybe do something special for, or maybe it's a client you don't like, and you just want to do nothing for them. And we all have those, right? There's agents that I like and there's agents that I don't like. Obviously, everyone on this call I love. But just a real quick and easy way for you to kind of drill down into that information. And last but not least is profit share. If you have profit share, if you partake in profit share and you're getting your unfair share, which most of you, if you're not, you should, you're going to be able to see your most recent profit share payment from this section here. Which leads me to my next thing. If anyone's knows anybody that's looking to get into real estate, send them my way. I would love to grow my profit share selfishly, just so I can have numbers for the class. That's all it is. I just want the money so I can teach you guys and show you what it looks like. I'll sacrifice that.
We'll do that for you.
You'll do that for me. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So super simple, super quick, pretty powerful. Any questions about what we covered on the home screen here before we jump a little bit deeper into the app?
You show them, like for those that are on a team, how you toggle back and forth.
I absolutely can. So if we notice down here at the bottom, it should be this way on an iPhone as well as an Android. We have a bunch of different icons at the bottom. On the far right one, if you have your picture uploaded, you should see a little circle of your picture. And when we tap on that, you're going to see which account you're currently in. If you are on a team, you're going to see if you're in your personal command, or if you want to switch to your team command account, you'll be able to click on that, and effortlessly switch back and forth, and that'll give you all new options on your home screen based upon the information that is available. The biggest difference between being on a team and being solo within command is when you're in the mobile app, you'll notice we have this new option here, new leads to claim. For those of you who are on a team, or if you're a rainmaker with a team and you're using command to distribute leads, maybe Facebook-based leads or whatever leads you determine, and you're using Facebook to shoot those out, this is where your agents on the go can view any unclaimed leads and or claim the leads that you have offered to them. Super easy to switch back and forth. Click the little circle in the lower right hand corner and select your name and your bag. Super simple. The other quick thing I guess to point out is going to be the notifications at the top. The little bell here, you'll be able to kind of just get different notifications as they come through. If someone logs into your site, if you receive a new message, here's some updates on Twilio. Here's where I can see an agent or a client of mine, Jeff, logged in, and I can easily view that contact. What's really neat about this is they're working on a way that going forward, you'll always be able to check your notification history. One of the things, for instance, within Command, after you read a notification and a day passes, you can't go back and look at your history of notifications. Even if I mark all these as red, we'll be able to read the last 90 days from this tab. And then on the desktop of Command, when they release the update, I believe they're going to let you go back at least 6 months, 180 days. So super cool, unread, you can go back and read and then still check those notifications. Sometimes a notification will pop up on your phone, you'll swipe to clear it and you're like, crap, what was that? This is a great way for you to kind of log in and view those notifications. All right, so if there's no other, is there stuff going on in the chat? Oh, you didn't know I was a comedian? Why, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support, Heather. I need the support. It's hard to tell jokes on the Zoom because everyone laughs, but I can't hear it. And then you would think it would make me feel awkward, but I think I'm just going to go double down on my jokes. In my mind, you laughed extremely hard. Delusions of grandeur is what I've been told. So now the next thing we're going to dive into is the contacts applet. So we're going to click the contacts applet down at the bottom. And we're just going to kind of just walk through what we see here, right? This is just like Command on your desktop. You're going to see your total contact count at the top. You're going to see a list of all your contacts, right? If you want to place a phone call, a text message, an email to any one of them, it's as quick as just hitting the button to the right. Across the top, we have a couple different sections we can dive in. If you just want to see contacts and not leads, just click on contacts and you'll just see your true contacts. Or if you want to see who you have indicated as a lead, you'll be able to see the leads separately as well. And here's a great example. So for Jeff and Joe and Joey Popeyes, Megan was an ex-girlfriend that I used as a test case. I probably should delete her. But you'll notice that if you do not have a phone number associated with that contact, the phone number and the text message button is grayed out, right? only have I only have an email for Jeff. If I don't for Joe, I don't have any forms of contact. So what I love about that, that's just a quick and easy way as you're going through your list. One day you're like, man, maybe I need to try to find Joe's phone number. Maybe I need to find Joe's text message. Maybe I need to find this information out so I can fulfill my database. To the right, recently active. This just takes us to that same section on the front that we clicked, right? All that home button does when we go recently active, it just takes us to this section within the contacts applet. And then smart views, extremely powerful. This is where you can view all the various smart views you've created or that have been provided to you by Keller Williams. So you can see, since most recently I looked at home anniversaries from the front screen, that's where it defaulted me to, that smart view. But there are some really cool smart views that a lot of people are unaware of. For instance, no neighborhoods. This is going to show me a list of all my contacts that I do not have a neighborhood designated for them to be able to use the monthly neighborhood nurture smart. Right? That's a lot. Getting that neighborhood, it's a great phone call, right? If you know that they have a neighborhood, if you looked into it, obviously make sure that there's a neighborhood available to them that are not living in like the middle of nowhere. This is a great opportunity for you to pick up the phone, give them a call and say, hey, didn't know if you knew this or not, but we have this cool free tool called the Monthly Neighborhood Nurture that gives you that hyper local information on your neighborhood. Your neighbor across the street lists their house, you're going to get an email about it. If that guy on the other side of the street, or on the other side of the neighborhood lists the house, you're going to get information on it. And it's just a way for them to stay engaged where the place that they made their biggest investment, right? Super cool. One of the other smart views, I always like to point out the agents just from this screen, especially because you're on your phone, you're on the go. If you find yourself, you're waiting at an appointment and maybe you showed up early and you're just waiting for your clients to show up and you have 15, 20 minutes to kill, go to the Who Should I Call Smart Plan or Smart View. This is going to show you, based upon your contact activity, who you should call next. So here you can see, you can kind of go through and see when you last contacted someone and be like, oh, you know what? I need to call Addison and place a phone call and then log that activity to Addison's contact. Just a super cool way for you to use the information you're tracking in your database to stay in touch with your people. If you're a real estate agent and you think, I don't know what I need to do to grow my business today, go to Contact Smart View. Simple enough. Command will tell you. If you get there and it says you contacted everyone today, then you have a really small database and maybe you shouldn't start listening. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just a great way for you to stay in touch. Carolyn, you have a question?
I do. I just wanted to see in the search bar, can you only search by name or are you able to search by address?
So you should be able to search. So typically you cannot search by address, I do not believe. But we can test it real quick. Let's see what address. I plugged in the zip code. Oh, okay, cool. So you can search by address. That is a great question. I did not know, but you can search by name, email address, phone number, and it does look like you can search by address. What
Great.
you cannot search by is notes. So if you plug in a note on a contact, you can't search for a specific note. A great question. Thanks for pointing that out. I learned something. That's what I love about teaching classes. You guys ask questions that I've never even thought of. The other quick thing to talk about before we kind of move on, you have the filtering capability just like you do within Command. So if you want to sort the contacts a specific way, you can. You can filter by the contact type from here. The last contacted within a certain number of days. You can search by recently active, just all that good stuff, and then also via tags, right? So if you want to see everyone that is in your brewery tag, click apply. I meet a lot of people at the brewery. That's where I met Scarlett Joe. She's not returning my phone calls yet, but one day me and Scar Joe will be together. She just doesn't know it. But super simple, super easy, and that's contacts, right? To add a contact, and actually this is a really cool feature that I'll show you guys. Now that I think about it, if you add a contact, you go through, you fill out all the information, right? Super easy to do. When you add that contact, once it's added, you can then save that to your phone. So to give you an example, if we go here, within a contact card. I click the three little dots. Once we create that contact, I can save that contact to my phone, right? So sometimes with agents, they're like, I don't want to have to add a contact twice. I always want them in my address book, but I also don't want to put them in command. Well, if you enter them, in command first, once you plug them in command mobile, hit the three little dots from within a contact card and save that contact to the phone. Another cool thing to note here, if you want to share your app via a text message to a client, you have the option to share your KW app link either via email and or text message, depending on what's available, what contact info you have. And then that'll send them that custom link that'll allow them to download your custom branded Keller Williams app. Super cool, super simple. We kind of glossed over it a little bit, but let me pull up my contact because I got some stuff in here. If you dive into a specific contact card itself, obviously you have access to all the information, the neighborhoods, the suggested neighborhoods, additional contact info. And you go into the timeline, you can easily view all the activity that client has had recently, whether it's opening your monthly neighborhood nurture emails, text messages that they have sent back and forth via Twilio, all that good stuff. You also can add an interaction to their particular timeline. So maybe you didn't place that phone call via command, or maybe you ran into them at the grocery store and you had a good conversation and you want to add a quick note about that interaction because you want to log all your activity, right? Log everything you do with a contact to command. That's how you track your relationship status, as it were. You can easily type that in. Ran into the grocery store. Maybe wasn't this sad. So hit save, and now it's been added, right? Smart plans are just going to give you the quick and easy way to see which smart plans they're currently on, as well as if you want to add someone to a smart plan. So you could easily add someone to your command and then add them to that quarterly call smart plan, right? And have them start to create that task instantly from that day of the moment you've met them. Notes. Any notes you want to kind of plug in here? Here you can see I have a box named Chloe. And you can sort those notes by older to recent. No big deal. Edit the note, delete the note, all that good stuff. And then, of course, any tasks that have been associated with it that we need to do, or any that I've completed as well. So you can, from mobile, you can kind of go back and just see all the tasks that you completed for that particular contact. Super simple, super basic, just really kind of powerful information. I mean, you can kind of do all of this from your phone, right? Your entire database at your fingertips to make sure you're staying in a relationship, making the needed touch points on a daily basis. I know we covered a lot. I word vomited a lot. Any questions, concerns, anything? All right.
To start as a new agent, can you import contacts into this?
100%. So as a new agent, what you need to do is reach out to Jen Vickers, your MCTT, or your Director of Tech. I don't know what your title is anymore, Jen Vickers. What is your title?
Grandma.
What is it?
Grandma.
Grandma. Gma.
Call Gmal Vickers, and she can provide you a CSV spreadsheet that's specifically formatted where we can easily import your information. Keep in mind, we typically need it in a digital format, right? So if you have like a Rolodex and stuff, we can help with that.
Yeah, it's just like
Okay, we can help you grab them from the iPhone, from your email, and we can import all. Perfect. All right, well, if there's no other questions there, I'll quickly jump into task, just to kind of give you guys the quick rundown. We've talked about it a little bit, right? Task, this is where you're gonna go, your day-to-day operations. This is where you're gonna be able to filter by call task or not call task. You can view previous tasks that are due later, all time, what's past due if you have any. Here you can show the tasks that are been completed or expired. You can also view at the top opportunity tasks. So for those of you who utilize opportunities in the checklist within opportunities, if you get tasks that are assigned to you, whether you're a personal agent, they're always assigned to you, or if you're on a team where they manually assign those checklist items to you, those will appear on Command Mobile as well. Tasks are pretty basic. You know, if you want to create a task, you hit the plus sign, task name, the description. When is the task due? Typically, I find it weird that there could be a task that you might specifically know the date and time where you want that to be due. So typically, I just leave them on all day. Any hyperlinks you want to associate with the task. Sometimes people are like, what's a hyperlink? It's a website address. And they're like, why would I want that to be associated with a task? Well, if you think about it, maybe if you're a rainmaker on a team and you're having people place phone calls, you could link to a script that's maybe you're hosting on your Google Drive that they need to use when they're placing these phone calls. Just something to kind of keep in mind. And of course, if you want to associate it with one or more contacts. So it's really neat about creating the task. If I want a task to show up for Abigail, Abby, and Addison, I can check all three of them, hit save, and send them flowers, because you get them in bulk if you buy them. You know, you get cheaper if you buy them in bulk, just a heads up. If you need help, let me know. And then we just save it, and now it's going to create that task due today for all of those contacts. So if I were to go back to my home screen, drag it down to refresh, we're going to see I have a task due today, send them flowers, Abigail, and you can just see that they're going to start to populate here. It takes a few moments, so now we can see all three of them are here. Quick and easy way to create multiple tasks and associations with contacts. Thank you so much for attending. Last but not least, kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but with task, if you click the three little dots, we can edit it, change the name, the description, the date, the hyperlink if need be. We can complete it, reschedule it, view the contact that's associated with it directly, or if we don't want to do anything with that task, we can just archive it from here as well. Super simple. And then last but not least, the little menu button, the little hamburger icon down here, I always like to just point it out because people are like, you didn't talk about it. It's not that big of a deal. If you go to your profile, this allows you to view your contact information that you have plugged into Command. So you can see my name, my roles, my contact info, a bio about me, all that good stuff. And then if need be, you can log out of here as well. And then this will link you to any command tree. Lead pool will be grayed out on personal commands because there is no lead pool for you. There's only a lead pool if you're on a team, because that's something that everyone can kind of view and grab the leads they want out of it. And then once, as Jen mentioned at the end there, if we click the little circle, this is how we can quickly switch between our different accounts.
Josh,
Yes, ma'am.
so when I see my account with my name, there's nothing there. It just says log out. How do I put in my own personal profile?
So make sure for that we need to be on the menu button down at the bottom, not the circle, and then you'll click profile. So let me pop up this real quick. Since you're live, I hope the ones that are live, the ones on here.
Thank you.
So if we click button here,
Oh,
then
okay.
profile, then we're gonna see all your info.
Oh, good, thank you.
No worries.
Yay, there I am.
All right. And that's basically it. I mean, if you really think about what the mobile app's designed to do, it's designed to help you see your entire database on the go, log your activities as you run into people, because the reality of it is, you're probably not always going to remember to come back to your desktop computer and log that you talked to Susan or you talked to Betty, right? You can do it easily on your phone. You can instantly add people to your database and then save that contact to your phone. And kind of all from the palm of your hand. I mean, this is a huge release. So I will kind of, oh, look, there's a baby.
What?
There's a baby. Hold on.
Oh, Caroline.
Hold on. I'm spotlighting you, and then I'm stopping the share so we can look at the baby. Talk about the baby. What's up with the baby?
This is my grandbaby, Liam, and he was at my door there, pounding on the door, wanting me to open the door for him, so.
Oh, Liam,
Hello.
that's adorable.
Cute, so cute.
Can you say hi?
Love him.
Say hi.
Yay.
You
Hi.
have the same hair.
How are you? excited.
Say hi, Liam. Say hi.
Who pointed out the similarities to Josh and Liam?
Nothing wrong with that, Josh.
I know. Well, it shows
Oh.
wisdom.
God bless you.
You're adorable, Liam.
Say thank you.
That's adorable. I have a rule. If someone brings a baby on the Zoom, we got to talk about the baby. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
everybody.
Did they have a dog?
I will also do this for dogs. Fair point, Joan. I will do- Cats, though, cats are terrible. Who likes
Yeah.
cats? They're the worst. But hopefully this was helpful. So are there any questions, concerns, criticisms, compliments?
Well, I certainly learned a lot, and I just put the app on my phone. I'm so proud of myself, so. there
If
we
you
go.
don't have the app, download
You
it.
can't use
Schedule
it.
some time with Jen Vickers. She can dive deeper into this
I
as
will.
well. It's the app is a game changer for us. I mean, we're the only CRM as far as right now, digital platform for real estate that we have a true mobile app.
Wow.
And there's still going to be, and this is just version 1. One of the things that I'm going to share with you guys is I'm in the beta test for a Command Mobile. And the next version, the next update is actually going to allow us to text from our Twilio numbers through Command Mobile. So what does that mean?
What's that mean? Yeah.
100%. So when you send an automated text message from Command via a smart plan or bulk selecting, you have to use a service called Twilio to send that text message. That is a unique phone number. It can never be set up to use your cell phone number when we send bulk texts through Command or through a smart plan. And the reason is, it's not because we can't do it, it's just that legally the FCC says we're not allowed to do it. It's actually like a felony. It's a lower felony, but it's still a felony. So what you can have a situation is, you set up an automated smart plan that sends out a text message. It comes from a number maybe someone doesn't recognize off of Facebook, or a Facebook link comes in and they get it from that unique number. You're out running around, they respond, you'll get that notification on your Command Mobile, and instead of responding from your cell phone number that they don't recognize, that they didn't receive that initial response, you can send that text message through your Command Mobile utilizing your Twilio, so that way you don't break that single phone number narrative until you can get them on the phone call and then transition them to your normal cell phone. It's one of those things that we've been waiting for. We just started beta testing it last week, and I think it'll actually will go live by the end of this month, if not sooner. So the cool thing about the Command Mobile is it is going to be something that they're going to constantly update and release and enhance. And a lot of it's going to be based upon your feedback. So if you have any suggestions, if you wanted to do something, definitely send it mine and Jen Vickers' way, and we can pass that information on to Keller Williams. Outside of that, it's 12:45. I don't know how long this class was scheduled, so if there's no other questions, I can let you guys go, or I can tell you jokes. Up to you.
Well, let's have to.
All right, you want a joke? All right, I'll go to a classic. All right, so I wanted to buy 12 bees. So I went to a local beekeeper and I said, "Excuse me, sir, I would like to purchase 12 bees." And he's like, "Okay." He hands me a bag full of bees. I hand him the money. And as I'm walking away, I want to make sure I got 12 bees. So I open up my bag, I count all the bees, and I notice instead of 12, he gave me 13. Not wanting to steal from him, I walked back in and said, "Excuse me, sir, I only paid for 12 bees and you gave me 13. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, that was a freebie." See what I did there? See what I did there with the freebie?
Freebie, yeah.
It's a freebie. Jen Vickers is over it because she's heard that joke so many times.
I love it.
Perfect. Outside of that, if you guys have any other questions, reach out to Jen or myself. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get in front of you today and talk about Command Mobile. I hope you all have a great and safe New Year.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye,
Johnson.
everyone.
See you tomorrow,
Bye.
Jen.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh, there's an extra stick.
Well, there we go. Eat it. Or you can stop at Popeye.